Hello, everybody. Shushack Redemption coming to you after a three-peat for the Indiana Pacers. Third straight championship, third different finals MVP, the latest being Special K Clark Kellogg. Got a nice rivalry going with the Blazers here in the last two finals. Entering the 1989 offseason. So a quick rundown of what's happened so far, because I went through some of it. Got some players retiring here. Some of these guys already retired, so it keeps, I think, a full list. Yeah, it's a full list of everybody that's retired in this entire my NBA, which is interesting that it takes away their stats as well. I didn't realize that. So I can't tell you really who retired. Okay, so maybe the guys that do have stats were the people who just retired, like John Drew. But I don't think nobody made the Hall of Fame. There were no jersey retirements. There were no real people, staff-wise, who retired. The big historic changes is that we have the Magic and Timberwolves joining the NBA. A few branding changes. The Knicks got their new logo. Spurs got their new logo. No other rules were changed alignment-wise. We got some changes here. So the Hornets are in the West now. So after the Heat had 1 year, after they were the expansion team last year with the who was it? With the Hornets, right? Yeah, Hornets and Heat came last year. The Heat were in the West, and now the Wolves joined the West, the Magic joined the East in my conference, or my division. So we're getting a little more full across the league. I went ahead and simmed the draft lottery, and you can see, I thought I could look at it, but I guess not. So let me show you here. I got second. So the Pacers, through the Jazz pick, landed the number 2 pick. The Kings are first, Bucks third. The expansion teams go 4th and 5th automatically. Bulls, Spurs, Pistons, Knicks. My other pick is the Warriors pick, which is 15th. So I have the 2nd and 15th picks. I had already traded my pick to the Bulls earlier, so I don't have to worry about that end of the first round pick. This offseason is going to be interesting. One, because I'm not super sure who I'm drafting here. Tim Hardaway seems like the consensus pick across these mock drafts to be number 1. It says Sean Elliott would be my pick. Honestly, I like Glenn Rice more than Sean Elliott. Elliott's probably a bit better of a defender. I mean, Sean Kemp's pretty awesome. Some good guys in this draft. But the really interesting thing is that we have John Stockton after his weird 1-year qualifying offer that he accepted. He's a free agent again. Let's see if I can. Let's just go here. So we've got John Stockton, who doesn't have a contract. I'll just go through here. Clark Kellogg's committed for another season. Harper's got 3 years. Ewing is now a restricted free agent, but he's coming off of a torn, well, he still has it, a dislocated kneecap. So he might still miss some of the first part of the season. I'm not sure. I'm hoping he's back by then. Hopefully it doesn't really ruin his progression, but we'll see. But I'm also curious if he's going to have the same issue with where if I give him an offer and he accepts it, will it actually take it, or will he be given the 1 year qualifying offer like what happened with Stockton? Thinking maybe I just let somebody else sign him and then I match it. That will at least get him on my team for probably 3 or 4 years. But I don't know if anybody knows how to make it work to where I can offer him, like, using my bird rights, using my, I can give him 5 years while everybody else can give him 4. Like, how do you get him to actually take that instead of the qualifying offer? I don't know. I haven't had it work yet. Who else we got? We got Reggie still with his rookie contract, Rodman with 1 more year. Perkins is a free agent. He was the guy I signed once the season started, actually, last year. AC Green has is restricted as well because he was the same class as Patrick Ewing. Mahorn is a free agent. Drausen has 1 year on his rookie contract. McMillan was somebody I signed during the season. Catledge's contract is up. Purdue still has a year on his, or a team option. And Greg Anderson. Also Avery Johnson. Forgot about him. So my decision, I have to make somebody available for the expansion draft, which is the next thing. So it's probably going to be Greg Anderson, based on him being 1 overall worse than Purdue and making a bit more money. So let's go ahead and get that started. I'm not, like I did last time, I'm not going to look at who the other teams make available. We'll just kind of be surprised as they get drafted. It is telling me that Will Purdue should be the one, probably because of his potential. He's a C while Anderson is a B. Anderson's a better rebounder, but not quite as good as defender. So I'm going to make Anderson available. He was somebody I just traded for to make a trade work, really, to get some first-round picks during the season. So we're going to let him go, and then we're going to see who gets drafted. So last time it was really interesting. A lot of young guys were selected, guys on their rookie deals even, like Kevin Johnson went to the Hornets, Horace Grant went to the Heat. So let's see what happens. Timberwolves got the first one, Rick Smits. So the Knicks made Smits available. Sunvold, who's been in the three-point contest just over and over again. Derek McKee in his now going to be his 3rd season. Kenny Smith. These are all, other than Tree Rollins, these are all younger guys. Anthony Mason. So T.R. Dunn was somebody I traded. Brian Shaw, Grant Long. So these teams, as long as they accept their team options, so the other Grant brother also gets in the expansion draft. Sarunas Marciulionis. What also happened is the Heat and Heat and Hornets, they drafted a lot of these guys on rookie contracts, but then they didn't accept their team options. So I don't know why that happens. I guess because they just want to choose who to get on their team. But then you'd go to the free agency, and those players are wanting more money than what their team options would have been. So it doesn't make much sense. So you can see up at the top of the contract, if it says 0 years, that means they have an option. So a couple, 3 fake guys ended out the draft there. Michael Williams, wow, he's on the Magic. If he would have gone to the Timberwolves, that would have been a team he actually played for. We got an older James Edwards here. So Askew has an option. Sarunas has an option. Anderson was my guy who has an option. Gamble with an option. T.R. Dunn. He was the guy I signed with a team option to be prepared for the expansion draft if I needed to make somebody available. So looks like the Magic, or I don't know what team he came from. I forget who I traded with. Maybe the Mavericks made him available. Kenny the Jet has an option. McKee has an option. So those will be 2 guys. Like, if they don't accept those team options, I will be kind of stunned. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be because it happened last time, but we'll see. So now we go straight to the draft. So we're not even ready for the options yet. Let's just jump in. We've got the first pick. Ready for the Kings. I guess I need to enable. It's like, why isn't it going? Okay. So all of the mocks were wrong. Everybody said Tim Hardaway. And it wasn't Tim Hardaway. It was Sean Elliott. And the reason that makes things interesting is because, like I said, John Stockton is an unrestricted free agent. And Tim Hardaway is pretty good. There's no guarantee that John Stockton comes back to my team, although I can pay him more for a longer duration. Jeez. I also didn't get any trade offers. So here's what I mean. Who's on my team? I've got Harper, Kellogg, Johnson, Reggie, Rodman, and Drazen and Purdue. Once I accept all these guys' options, that's my team. So these 7 guys. Harper I kept partly because he's a great defender, but also as a backup plan. I didn't trade him because I knew Stockton's deal was expiring. So if things go terrible and John Stockton can't be re-signed, then Derek Harper is my backup plan to be my point guard, which isn't terrible. So I don't really need Tim Hardaway. But what I do want to do is see what teams have to offer me for this pick number 2, knowing that somebody great is there. So Nance and a 92, which 92, I am collecting those. I think 6 of them so far. Thorpe, the 6th pick, and Vincent. I wouldn't mind trading down. So that's both of my picks for Byron Scott. Purvis Short and Cook are both older. I can trade a future first to get the number 1 pick, Sean Elliott. Dawkins in a first, Bill Laimbeer. So Pistons trading their last remaining older guys. Oh, they want Derek Harper too. Oh my gosh. The 7th and a future first. I don't know that I want to trade back that far if I do. Chambers and Humphreys, Valentine in a first. Sleepy, Banks and Robertson. There's the 4th pick and Tree Rollins. So trading back 2 to pick up Tree Rollins at 34 doesn't make a lot of sense. I wouldn't mind trading back to the 4th, but for somebody else maybe. Or I trade back to the 5th and James Edwards. So they're both giving me their older centers that they got in the expansion draft. So no thank you. Let's go to Choose Prospect and see what's going on here. Starting with point guards, we got Tim Hardaway, who is tied for the 2nd best person available in the draft, according to my scout. It says his ceiling is all NBA and his floor is as a starter. Point guard is a pretty deep position in this draft, actually. Shooting guard, Nick Anderson is projected to go as high as 4th and as low as 14th. That's quite a range. For Hardaway, again, everybody thought he was going first. Small forward, Glenn Rice goes 3rd or 4th according to scouts. They've already been wrong with the first pick. Power forward, we got Stacey King 6th to 8th, Kemp 5th to 7th. His overall is a little lower because he's 19 years old. Got some good guys down here too, in Clifford and Dino. The real number 1 pick, Purvis, 3rd to 7th. Got Vlade down here. So I do wonder if I try to trade down to 3rd. Oh, it's so hard not to pick Tim Hardaway. But there's no lineup that makes sense to have Tim Hardaway and John Stockton together. Unless, I don't know, Timmy's not going to be a backup. Then I'd have to trade somebody eventually. So Glenn Rice could make a little more sense. Rodman's my starting small forward. Eventually Kellogg, he's still pretty young. Eventually Kellogg would move on and Rodman's my power forward. What? Who has the 3rd pick? Let's see if they're willing to offer anything. No offers were found. Cool. There's really no... Oh, I guess I need to look who's actually under contract. They have 2 guys they can trade. Otis Thorpe, who they did offer. Man, I've never been so uncertain. Well, I probably have. That's probably not true. You could probably go back and watch all the off seasons, and I've probably been hesitant for a lot of these. So maybe I just need to figure out who do I want in this draft. Like Sean Kemp could make sense. He could be my backup forward. Again, looking at who's on my team. Avery Johnson probably won't be good enough to be a backup point guard yet, so I don't really have one of those. It'll probably be Derek Harper playing those minutes again. We've got Reggie, who was already starting last season. Hopefully we'll go up a few more in the progression. Drazen's gone up and is playable now. Yeah, he did jump up into the rotation for the second part of the year. He played 49 games. Kemp would replace the Perkins role, who was playing power forward and center minutes. That could make sense. AC Green doesn't have to be re-signed, but he could also be kind of my backup small forward, because he could play both. So maybe Sean Kemp makes the most sense. If I trade down, the problem is if I trade down and then he gets taken like second, based on how these drafts have gone before, they're totally off of what the mock drafts say, which is neat and annoying at the same time. So maybe I'd go for fourth to be safe-ish, if fifth is the highest they think he'll go. And that's one of the expansion teams. Fourth is the Magic. Sunvald. I wonder if I could just maneuver it myself. Could also, what does the fifth say? Clark Kellogg, no thank you. Alright, so let's just start with something. Let's start with this. Second, I don't want Tree Rollins. They did just get a lot of people that potentially could be decent. Brian Shaw I wouldn't mind to have. They've got a young Ronnie Cycli, second year. It's kind of going to be neat to see how these teams do. I mean, you saw what happened with the Heat. They made the playoffs because they signed Michael Jordan. It's craziness. What if I do Brian Shaw, the fourth? Do you dare? No? Okay, what are they? They're swapping the Magic pick with the Jazz pick, which no, the Jazz are terrible, which is why I even have this pick to begin with. What if we protect this one? So that's fourth. Now they want it unprotected, and they keep giving me Tree Rollins. Lottery protected? No. Do I still have one of my picks down there somewhere? I do have my 93 first. I do have my 93 first, which isn't... I imagine if I continue to be good, that's not going to be a good pick. But I could sweeten some seconds. I guess I could also try selecting both of them. So fourth and this. The second, and so that's the swap again. What about that? My Bulls top three protected, and they keep giving me Tree Rollins. I don't want Tree Rollins. no offers were found with Brian Shaw. Interesting. Okay. So, gotta go back and start from here again. Do I take their 93? Is that a trade? No. Now they want my Sixers top 10, and they keep adding Tree Rollins. Alright, let's add a couple seconds. Celtics and mine there. They added Tree Rollins again and more seconds, which is fine, but do I have to trade them both? The Bulls are pretty terrible, so that pick might actually be at the top. This is the swap between the Kings and the Jazz, which have the first and second pick, technically. Oh, man. Let's do that one. Who's on the Bulls team, real quick? Yeah, they don't have anybody. Like, almost literally. They have Sam Vincent and Mark Jackson under contract. So it could be a totally different team, I guess, if you look at it that way. The Kings are about to have the number one pick, or they just got Sean Elliott, that's right. So maybe I get rid of that one. The Jazz aren't getting anybody, though. Ooh. Alright, let's get rid of the Bulls pick. Maybe? No. They want all my seconds, and they keep adding Tree Rollins. I don't have anybody I want to trade, right? Avery Johnson would be the closest, the only guy I can trade. I wonder if they'll even do this. All of them, or they'll throw Tree Rollins on there again. 4 seconds for their first to go back 2 spots. That seems like a lot. I don't know why, but that's my first, which again is almost like a second. They really do not want Tree Rollins on their team. We know that much. Is this worth it? Probably. But they still didn't do it. They added a first and gave me Sunvault. Jeez. Okay. Well, I thought that was going to be easier, because it probably would take a first to move up to this spot. Is there any chance? So that was 1.5 stars. That's also 1.5 stars, but maybe it's easier? Swap worst. I mean, that's definitely going to be a huge jump. They were trying to swap the Hawks and Magic. I don't know how good the Hawks are. Okay, I think that's what I wanted. Alright, they got Tim Hardaway. Let me just make sure that's what I wanted to do, right? So I traded back from 2nd to 4th. I picked up their 93 as a swap, and I traded them whatever that Celtics second was, whatever year that was. Yeah. So, I mean, if my pick's really bad in 93, then it's definitely going to be worth it, I would think. So, okay. Timmy Hardaway is gone. I guess the Magic will be a little better now. The Bucks get Purvis Ellison. So that leaves me. Let's see if I get trade offers. I did not. I will do a quick look to see what is offered for me. Purvis Ellison. The 6th and Vincent. Dan Marley in a first. Purvis Short. Dale Ellis, who was already on my team. Kevin Willis, who the Lakers signed last year. 2 firsts. One of those is probably mine. 14th and Dr. Dunk. Tripucka, the 11th and a first. All right. I think what we do is we draft Sean Kemp. It's hard to pass up Glenn Rice, but for what my team has, Kemp probably makes more sense. Be easier to find him a spot on the team. For Glenn Rice to play, I feel like I'd have to trade Drazen, which I could do. I don't know. I don't think he has that much. Oh, no, I can't trade him. I'd have to accept his option first. According to this, his potential is only a B, but so is like everybody else. So I'm going to draft Sean Kemp, and we're going to have a fun time with Sean Kemp on the Pacers. Glenn Rice still didn't go. We got Mookie. So now both expansion teams have some nice point guards. Pooh Richardson. I'm like wondering why Glenn Rice isn't going. Like, I have the 15th pick, but I don't really have. So this was the 7th pick that's about to come up. Who has that? The Spurs. Derek Harper. Trading Derek Harper, that really hurts me with my point guard backup plan, so. Stacey King. Okay. Let's go to the Pistons. They can't trade their pick. Still not Glenn Rice. What is happening? Every year there's something crazy happening. I can't get that pick either. Will the Knicks save? Oh my gosh. The Nuggets. Can they trade their pick? No, they cannot. But they're trading it. So they can't trade it, but they're trading it. That makes sense. So Alvin Robertson and Michael Thompson for 2 firsts, including the 10th pick. Miami Heat are getting Dana Barros. This seems very possible now to trade up and get Glenn Rice too. It's so hard not to do this kind of stuff. I have the 15th. The Heat. They're not in alphabetical order because they're new to. I mean, if they get Glenn Rice, they're like a crazy good team with Jordan and Horace Grant's about to get good probably. Oh, it's not the Heat? It's the Rockets. Why did I say the Heat? Because they just got Dana Barros. Rockets. They've got Isaiah and Ralph Sampson. And possibly the Rifleman, the Iceman, and Scott Skiles. So let's see. So it would take Derek Harper to get another first from them. I don't want to trade Derek Harper. I can give you possibly one of these firsts. I do wonder how many seconds it would take. Derek Harper is 4 stars, guys. Why are you trying to take him? 2 seconds. They are giving me a first back. So what if I give them... I'm trying to remember who is decent. The Knicks are never good. The Nuggets haven't been very good. The Pistons traded away everybody. Jazz have been terrible. The Bulls have been terrible. I've got the Sixers and Pistons picks up here. I feel like the Sixers have been good. Let me go see who's on the Hawks. Moncrief, Short and Cook, Sabonis. It's a decent team. The Mavs. Who's on the Mavs now? Blackman and Aguirre. And Mark Price. That's not very good. Man. What if I trade all 3 seconds? There's a good chance they get Glenn Rice, but I would have said that about like the last 4 teams, if not more. Let's try all 3 seconds, then if not, we'll risk it again. Because then what I'll do is I'll accept the option on Drazen and then trade him. Let's just see if they, by chance, will give me something else. They say Derek Harper. I say no. They say Derek Harper. I say no. Alright. 3 seconds move me up 4 spots? No, it does not. Alright, well, we have nothing else to talk about then. Will they take Glenn Rice finally? Yes, they do. Alright, well, now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Sherman Douglas to the Cavs. Danny Ferry goes to Atlanta. He was really the number 2 pick, I believe. BJ to New Jersey. And now the Pacers are on the clock again. Still no trade offers. Let's do Finder. Sixers, Bucks, Bullets. Be funny if Glenn Rice popped up. Here's Danny Ferry. So he was 2 picks ago. Green, LaSalle. J.R. Reed was the 9th pick. Makes no sense. 15th and a second for the 9th pick. Lakers, Mavs, BJ, who was just picked. Anderson, who was the 8th pick, takes a first from me. So that's where the Rockets were, so Glenn Rice is not an option. Humphreys, 2 from the Sonics. Mo Cheeks. Now that the Hornets drafted a point guard, they don't need Mo Cheeks, I guess. Tree Rollins and a fake guy. What is that? Alright, let's see who's there. How about that? Go by position here. Point guard wise, Haywood Workman, they say, should go next, but not for a while. Shooting guards, Doug West would be next. Small forwards, I'm guessing McLeod. McLeod and Blue Edwards. Power forwards, Randy White. Says he should have probably already been gone. Dino is there along with Clifford. Unfortunately, that is the position I just got with Kemp. Makes me think I should have got Rice so I could get one of these guys with this pick. Didn't think that far ahead. I also have Vlade Divac there. he could be my future backup center, replacing, I still have Will Perdue, and my other guy was Rick Mahorn, who's not under contract. So Vlade probably makes the most sense. He's only 71, but I'm guessing has pretty good potential. His ceiling is an all-star, his floor is a bench. Hey, it's Tree Rollins showing up everywhere. Vlade Divac. What does it say about these guys? All-star bench. All-star bench. So they all kind of have the same ceiling and floor. Robinson's really the same position as AC Green on my team. And I like Vlade more than Dino. So I'm gonna get Vlade Divac here. It gives me more options later on. Alright, Randy White to the Suns. I'm gonna do manual so I can go through here. Workman to the Hornets. Clifford goes to the Suns as well. Hammonds, who I think was really drafted by the Bullets. George McLeod, who played for the Clippers. Fake guy. Dino goes to the Heat. Doug West to the Celtics. We have a trade here near the end of the first. For the 24th pick, it's Brad Davis. The Warriors wanted to get Blue Edwards. Lakers get Kenny Battle, Kenny Payne to the Blazers, Terry Davis to the Bulls. And that's the end of the first. Got a few more real people to go, I think. There's a fake guy. Greg Grant to the Jazz. Jaren Jackson goes to the Spurs a bit early in his career. Fake. Paul Graham to the Wolves. Fake. 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 That might have been everybody. Nope. Chucky Brown goes to the Nets. Chris Childs to the Suns. In fact, the Suns had a lot of picks here. And that's it. All right. So there we go. There's the rundown. Be interesting to see what these expansion teams look like. So we're going to accept both of those guys for sure. Vlade Divac is not going to be number 54. Well, I guess Stockton is 12, so that's why he's not. Maybe he can be 21. We've got options. We're absolutely picking up Miller, Rodman, Drausen. I'm going to do Purdue as well. That way, worst case, I'll just trade him for something if he's not going to be on my team. Let's see. Adrian Dantley declined his player option. Iceman did as well. Armin Gilliam's team option was declined as the second pick. The second pick, his third-year option was not picked up. I don't know. I don't understand what happens. Len Bias, who's been averaging 17 plus points all 3 years, his fourth year was not picked up by the Kings, who just drafted Sean Elliott to replace him, so I guess that makes sense. But why wouldn't they just accept and trade him? Like, that's what I do. Kenny the Jet was not picked up by Minnesota. Mark Jackson, so the Bulls now have, I think, one guy under contract. T.R. Dunn was declined, no surprise there. Kevin Johnson was not picked up by the Hornets. Greg Anderson is a free agent. Gamble, Sarunas. So here's all those Wolves and Magic guys. Wow. All right, we've got qualifying offers absolutely to Ewing Green. I don't know about Nate. I guess I will for now, and I'll take it back if I decide otherwise. I'm not going to extend offer Catledge. He did evidently play. Oh, I did play him. I played everybody there at the end of the season. He was active for a little while. So let's do that. Now let's go look at the team here. So here's who's actually under contract. We've got Kellogg, 2 Finals MVPs up here, Kellogg and Harper. We've got starting shooting guard Reggie. We've got starting small forward Rodman. So those are all, well, no, Reggie was not starting, was he? No, I totally made that up. He was not starting because Harper was. I forgot. I was planning on starting him if I had traded Harper, but then I didn't. So Rodman's the one who ended up getting to start all season. So Miller's been my 6th man. If for whatever reason I don't get Stockton back, he's for sure my starting shooting guard because Harper would be my point guard. Drazen's my backup, I guess at this point, small forward. Kemp is my backup, but these 3 are my backup big guys. And Avery right now is my backup point guard, but it really needs to be my 3rd point guard based on his overall. All right, let's see what's going on here. Go by position. Nobody's offering Joe Barry Carroll, but we've got 8 offers for Patrick Ewing. The Warriors, Clippers, Nuggets, Hornets, Lakers. So 3 for 9.26, 4 for 12.64. I guess I could do the math and start from there. I would just hope that he freaking accepts it and it allows me to have that contract. Otherwise, I won't understand what's happening. Herb Williams has a couple offers after, I think, not playing. He hasn't played the last 2 years, and now he's getting 2 offers. So, interesting. All right, we've got Detlef getting offers from all over the place. Karl Malone is a free agent, restricted though. Larry Bird hopefully goes back. Oh my God. If he goes to the Heat and joins Michael Jordan, this game would be pretty crazy. But he's also got offers from the expansion teams, which I don't know. I don't feel like these guys would go to expansion teams, but that's what's happening. Iceman going to San Antonio after he left them 2 years ago. Dumars, the Bulls are trying to bring him back, so that's nice. Stockton has 7 offers. Oh my gosh. So the Kings and Suns. So he's probably my number 1 priority because I can match on Ewing. For Stockton, I've got to beat 3 years, 7.06 with a player option. So let's do him first. 3 for 7.06. We've got to do some math here. Let's make that easy. So that's only 6.48. Oh boy. Is it like, oh, is it the max? Let's do back. Is that 7.06? No. All right. Let's get a calculator out here. Don't worry, I don't have an actual calculator. It's my phone, but it'd be pretty funny if I did. 7.71 is the total there. So if I give him Bird, makes him happier, do it longer, and maybe take that down a little bit. Please, John Stockton. That takes him till he's 32. Okay, it is at the top. I don't know for sure, but they always go for the top. Or if it's just one of the ones that are 100. You would think that if one's 100 and it's better than the others, then the others wouldn't be 100. But hey, that's just logic. All right, so let's do Patrick Ewing next. We got to do math here. So the top one's 3 for 9.26. So let's do 3. What's his max? 2.94. That is 9.26. So they are giving him the max with a player option. So I will do a player option. I will do Bird. And I will give him the extra years. He's probably worth it. He gets it all. And that's going to be the test to see if the game really does just screw up qualifying offers or not. Is that why maybe nobody else offers their restricted free agents? I don't know. So I'm guessing I have zero other money. Whoops. Let's just pretend like we're going for Karl Malone. No, minimum contracts for everybody. But do I have any cap holds? People I won't be signing? Not really. I mean, Mahorn I don't need, Catledge I don't need, but those are minimums anyway. So AC Green is the other guy who it would make sense because I can't afford anybody else why I would sign him. I can give him 5 years as well. Whoops. But I don't want to. I don't think. Or I do, and then I trade him eventually. So max him out at $1 million there in year 3. Yeah, let's do what I had. There we go. Alright, so there's my first 3 offers. We're going to advance. Okay, so those say agree for all 3. Stockton's the one I was most worried about because these guys I can match, and at least if it screws up, I get them for their 1 year. It says I'm renouncing rights. I don't have to, I don't think. I still have some trade exceptions. I don't know when those expire. So these here too, the qualifying offers. I don't know how to. You can't like take it away because then that would clear their cap hold and make it not able to sign them back. I'm pretty sure. So I guess I keep going. Now we can see the fun here. Chris Mullin possibly going to the Celtics. He's been on the Spurs, so they are offering him. We'll see if that happens. Detlef, he's been on the Kings, yeah. They're offering him as well. Marquise Johnson, who is on my team for 2 of the championships, right here. Traded him to the Knicks where he scored 20 points per game. All right, so affordable is probably what I should go for. These are going to be older guys that will sign for the minimum, like T.R. Dunn, who I already had on my team. But let's see what I need. So I have Stockton in waiting. I've got Ewing in waiting, and I've got AC Green in waiting. So that gives me 12 players. I'd like to sign 2 more. One should probably be a small forward. And the third, probably a small forward, power forward. And then maybe another point guard. So I don't think I can get him for, no. So even though they're on my team, because they were only a 1-year deal and they're for the minimum, I can't go above the cap to sign them. So I need somebody that's willing to sign for the minimum. So some of these guys I'll just try. So Campbell's kind of close. Jay Vincent, Jeff Turner. Henson was on my team before. He was one of the trades I made to get first round pick. Got 34-year-old Walter Davis down here. Johnny Newman. Reed was on my team a few years back. Donald Royal wouldn't be bad as kind of a bench filler. Let's maybe prioritize point guard here. Kevin Johnson, probably too expensive. Nate, I do have a qualifying offer out to, so he could actually be my third point guard. That works. I'm not sure why that's allowed, but yeah, I'll do that. So that means, what I say, small forward, power forward. Was there anybody? Power forward. George Johnson. We got Hot Rod down here. Sam Mitchell would help, but he's too expensive. Catledge this is probably the same place I was in last year when I ended up signing him. Greg Anderson. A lot of these players have already had a run with the Pacers. I'd rather get a younger guy, potentially. Or a super old guy with badges, I guess, would be fine. Kevin Gamble's probably too expensive. Who has some badges that can help some younger guys? Donald Royal. Well, he's younger but has badges. Mike Sanders has 14 badges. Corbin has 9 but isn't older. Walter Davis will sign with me, probably because he's so old. He could probably help out either Reggie or I don't know who else. But that's looking pretty good. Can he move at all anymore? He seems to still be good at offense. His defense is decent. He can't rebound at all. He cannot move. Oh no. He would not be very good on the court, but his badges are what I'd be going for. He averaged 25 minutes a game and got 0.1 rebounds per game. It's like he actually would run away from the ball. He started half the season. That's something screwed up there. Makes me not want to get him. Reigns is a good defender, at least was a good defender. But he's too expensive. So, do I get Davis just to be like an assistant coach pretty much at that point? He'll go down at least 2 overall, I would think. He's going to be 35, but he's got 16 badges. What are they? Where are badges? So he's got a bronze, pro touch. He's got a gold, a silver, bronze, bunch of bronzes. I don't know how many of those Reggie doesn't already have. He's not a small forward, power forward that I was saying. But with Kemp and Green and Divock and Purdue, I'm pretty well established at power forward. Let's do it, whatever. We've got a lot of young guys, so. All right, it says decline. So what does that mean? Match, decline. I would think I decline so that they actually take these contracts, right? That would make sense. If I match, you would think they're getting these qualifying offers, and that's not what I want to do. I don't remember what happened with Stockton last year. If it was like automatically on match, maybe that's what it was. Could be. So Nate McMillan is the other guy, so his qualifying offer needs to be accepted because I can't offer him anything else. It's kind of weird. And then I need to undo Perkins' cap hold. Advance. So if I go to signed, no, it says 1 year. I should have done one of each to see what it did, I guess. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick those, I think. I don't understand this game. Larry Bird went back to the Celtics. Mullen back to the Spurs. That is not like a max deal. Shrimps with the Rockets. Joe Barry Carroll joins the super team Lakers. Malone went back to the Clippers. I don't understand. So now if I advance, let me make sure. Where's Nate? Okay. Match is automatically selected. I cannot unselect anything. So I needed to click match on the first screen. That just doesn't make sense. Why do I guess it kind of does. I'm matching my own offer so that that's what they get. All right, well, we'll just hope that I get Ewing the same way I just got Stockton by overpaying whatever. The only other thing I could think of is to clear their cap hold, but then I won't be able to sign them, so that sounds way too dangerous. All right, I can clear, whoops, Perkins though. So I should have 13 players now. We've got, so that's going to be Nate McMillan once he accepts the qualifying offer, or I match if anybody signs him. We've got the 3 shooting guards returning. We've got Walter Davis now as a mentor for somebody. We've got rookie Sean Kemp, who's probably going to play the backup center minutes. So my backups are going to be Kemp, Green, Reggie, and Drazen, probably, if I can make that work. It's usually a 9-man rotation until there's some injuries. Then we've got Purdue and Divac. I'm going to switch Divac's number before I forget. He was 21 at one point in his career, so let's do that. Since Stockton is 12. Ewing continues to be 6 because Special K is 33. Alright, so that's 13 players. So we got to go until McMillan signs. Where's Dantley going to go? Oh my gosh, if he joins the Heat, Marquise Johnson has 0 offers. Now he's got 8 offers. The Bulls and Magic. Magic have all sorts of money they're throwing around. Xavier McDaniel getting offered by the Sonics, which is who he played for last year. Now we've got Armin Gilliam getting some offers. The Cavs trying to bring him back. I wish I would have noted how much money his team option was for, because they might be offering him more now, which makes no sense. Big Smooth, well, he's not getting much money, but he's getting offered. Now he's got 6 offers. Now the Warriors are trying to get him. Manute doesn't have any offers. He's not restricted anymore. He was restricted because he was an 85, so the Lakers cleared his hold, I guess, to sign Joe Barry Carroll. If that would make sense. Carroll was 5 better. Where's McMillan on this list now? He's down here still getting no offers. Mark Jackson's there too. So I'll keep one spot open, obviously, because hopefully I'll be able to sign somebody in the season. There wasn't really anybody I wanted to trade. Green was a possibility, but I have to wait. And now I probably won't be able to because I just signed him to a contract. So Harper would be possible trade bait now that I got Stockton back. I'm going to go ahead and look right now just to see how things change trade offer wise. Harper's 27, he might not go up in the progression. We'll see. 2 firsts for him. Young Hersey Hawkins. The Kings, who just had the first pick. I don't really want to trade for picks right now because I got to see who's on the teams once the season starts. Person. Horace Grant a first. McKee and Tim Perry. So that's what the trades look like so far. This might be the year where Derek Harper moves on to a different team because Reggie Miller, I'm really hoping goes up at least 2 overall. And if he's, around the same overall as Harper, then Reggie needs to be starting and continuing to get better. I'm also concerned that if McMillan doesn't sign, because he has to accept the qualifying offer, I believe. If he doesn't sign and I enter the season with 13 players, it'll automatically assign somebody to my team, which probably won't be a great thing. I can't see how much he likes it, though. I don't remember how much it was for, either. I don't know how to see that. He is almost to the point where I can offer him. We got Manute getting some offers now. David Thompson, who's 35, and he's another guy. He probably won't. He actually would take the minimum, so I should have looked a little bit higher. Would have rather had him instead of Davis. He shoots a lot better and doesn't defend as well, but has a little more, way more speed to him. Oh well. I really hope Mark Jackson gets signed at some point. Be silly if he's on the free agent list. Is Manute actually going to get... Okay, now he's getting money. Might go to the Warriors, where he actually played. Jackson, yeah. All right, going to the Jazz. Get on a team there, Mark. Bill Wennington, hot commodity here. All right, I'm hoping it'll say Nate signs. Accepts qualifying offer. Okay, so now I have 14 players. Now we go to player progression and see what happened. Yes, Reggie went up 3. Harper went down 1. So not only didn't go up, but went down 1. Also says Patrick Ewing went down 1. I knew his injury would hinder things, but he still had a good portion of the year. So almost 60 games. Averaged a career high in rebounds. Oh boy. So Stockton didn't go up either. Please don't tell me 86 is where he's stopping. Career high in assists and points. I feel like that's a time where you go up in overall. Rodman didn't go up either. Drazen went up 2. Davis did go down 2. Avery Johnson went up 2. Okay, not as much green on this screen as I was expecting. Kellogg, he went down in a few things, up in a few things. Still a good player. I would not have expected, well, he's not my best player. It's Ewing. He's just weirdly down on the list. Stockton went down. He got slower. Did he miss any games? I don't remember. No. He's not missed a game his whole career. He did go up. I don't remember what I have him training toward. I don't think it's playmaking, simply because he's already 99 at all those things. Well, 94, I guess, at accuracy, but I thought I had him as a two-way player. Reggie's up to a 93 at threes. 89 offensive consistency. 97 at drawing the foul. Up in defensive consistency. Up in almost everything. What did Harper get bad at to go down one? Oh, wait, let's see potential. So now it's saying B+. I'm pretty sure that said a B. For Stockton, it was already an A. For Ewing, it was an A. Rodman said A+, I think, at this time last year. So I don't know what happens. But the fact that none of them really went up except for Reggie is really weird. Harper got worse at very few things, so I'm not sure why he's down one. He also has 37 badges. Holy moly. Ewing got bad at inside stuff. I think I had him training as a two-way player. His offensive consistency went up. His rebounding went up. His defense can't go up. I guess interior D can. His stamina went down. I've expected his speed to go down because of his dislocated patella. Rodman is an amazing rebounder, of course. He went up in things, just not enough to go up in overall. Green stayed very... Well, he went up in some things. Drazen has to be playable, I think, this year. I mean, he was playing some last year, but hopefully he can get a few more minutes, especially if I trade Derek Harper. His offensive consistency is great. His threes are still 99. Nate, I was hoping would go up, although he didn't get to play, really, with my team, so it's not surprising that he didn't. He's still an amazing defender. Purdue didn't go up. Davis we knew would go down. Avery makes McMillan almost expendable at this point, but we'll see. Alright, let's go through the league and see. First of all, we can get our first look at who's on these teams. So Doc Rivers joins the Pistons. So his third team now. Lambeer went down one. The Rockets got Skiles back. Or no, he had a team option. So they add Detlef as their new power forward. They drafted Glenn Rice and kept Chuck Person. Skiles went up 3. Mullen went up 1. Pippen up 4. They ended up getting Dumars. Huh. So the Bulls backed out. I'm going to have to see who the Bulls ended up getting then. Wait, did Dumars? Dumars went down 1. Wow. His career just never really took off, I guess. It looks pretty solid, but Sonics, nobody really jumped. Olajuwon and Drexler look like maybe they've reached their peak. That Lever still went up 1. Danny Manning, last year's #1 pick, went up 3. Sam Perkins joins the Warriors with Danny Manning. They ended up getting Kenny Smith and Manute Bol. So the Heat do add Adrian Dantley's scoring to put next to Michael Jordan. They still have Banks, Strickland, and Grant. They drafted Barros and Raja. That team might be decent. The Hornets did not get any better. They signed Gilliam, but otherwise not looking like a threat. The expansion Magic, so draft Tim Hardaway. They didn't really make any big signings, it looks like, even though they were at the top of like everybody's list there for a while. Really surprising they weren't able to get anybody. Timberwolves get Smits and McKee in the expansion draft, so they're starting like the 90s Pacers. They signed Henson and Pressey, I think. So they did sign some people, but nobody super good. They've got Mookie down here as their 5th draft pick, or 5th pick of the draft. Sixers look pretty much the same. I think Nance, yeah, he was already there. Everybody went down. Bucks drafted Purvis, but didn't really get any better. Bullets, Barkley didn't go up. He averaged 21 points and 10 rebounds. So again, his best year of his career, you'd think he would go up. Doesn't make sense. Morris did go up too. Marquise did join the Bulls, so that was their big splash. He's going to average a lot of points on this team. They don't really have anybody. Cavs look kind of the same. Mark Eaton was already on their team. Celtics got Bird back, who went down 2. Johnson and Parrish both went down as well. McHale did not, though. So they're keeping their quartet in place. Clippers brought back Karl Malone, who did not go up as well. That's unfortunate. They continue to have him and Cummings kind of ruin each other's growth. Although Cummings, has been one of the top overalls in the league for a couple seasons now. Hawks stayed pretty much the same. They got Len Bias. Jazz don't look any different. Other than Mark Jackson, looks like going to be their starting point guard. Kings drafted Elliott, signed Charles Oakley. That looks like a not very good team again. Knicks, they drafted J.R. Reed, signed Maxwell. The Lakers, so every year they add somebody. They added Dominique, then they added Willis, now they add Joe Barry Carroll. They still don't really have a shooting guard. It's Kenny Battle or Vinny Del Negro down here. So, still a really good lineup. Mavericks didn't really improve. The Nets, Robinson went up 3. Mitch did not go up. Averaged 23 points. Almost got Rookie of the Year, if not for Danny Manning. And he didn't go up. This game doesn't make much sense sometimes. Big game James going down, Cooper going down. And there we go. Alright, we'll skip past the Summer League. I need to look up where the All-Star Game was in 1990. Was it Atlanta? It was in Miami. So let's choose Miami. Again, I don't know why this isn't like by default where the game actually was. You'd think it'd just be one of those easy things that 2K could implement. Make it a little more real. I just started the 90 draft class, started editing it. It's going to be the biggest one based on how many people are either already on the game, mostly because the 91-92 roster is on the game. So there's a lot of people from the 90 draft class. Plus, my brother and I created a lot of players for that 91-92 roster that I've uploaded and shared. So it's going to have over 40 players. So that's going to be the first one with that many people by far. Be interesting. But I don't have it shared yet, so we'll just use the default one for now. I guess we can see who's in it from this, so you can know who to look out for. We got Abdul Aruf, Terry Mills, Gary Payton, Derek Coleman, Dennis Scott, Kendall Gill, Cedric Sabalas, Lionel Simmons, Tyrone Hill, Tony Kukoc, Eldon Campbell, Dwayne Coswell, D. Brown, Jared Mustaf, Anthony Bonner, and Ala Abdelnaby. So, pretty good class. Now let's advance and see who's left to sign. I also want to see, okay, Patrick Ewing is not here anymore. Thank you. Rod Strickland got hurt, I guess, in Summer League. That's hurtful for them. Don't know why Larry Bird is hurt. He has a sore knee coming into the season, I guess just because he's older. So here's my team. We got Nate who signed. Let's go see who's on the free agent list. There's nobody. So I'm happy to see that because there have been some way too good of people on this list to start the year. What that means is they all got added to those teams that only had 8 or 9 people that when we were going through, and they obviously had either money to sign them or found a way. But also adding more teams to the league, so adding 2 this season and 2 before. There's more players, more real players to go on teams. But I do have a roster opening still. So I don't know that I want to use it on any of these guys till I have to. Even so, I'd probably trade for somebody. Dunleavy's been on my team before. All these guys are going to be probably pretty old. We got Clay Johnson. I don't see anybody real here. Robert Reed has been on my team. Ballard, Bennett. So Bennett's younger, 24. He was not a draft pick in the first round. Macklin and Scurry. Pat Cummings, Ivoroni, Olberding. Not a very good selection here. Nymphius was on my team. I traded him for a first-round pick 3 seasons ago, and now he's a 68 overall. It's like I know what I'm doing. Alvin Adams is still in the league. All right, well, now I do want to see, first of all, who did those guys go to? So just a little quicker this time, maybe. See if there's any good guys at the top that weren't there before, if we can remember them. These all look very similar. This team didn't change at all, which means we might have round 3 of Pacers Blazers in the finals. That'd be pretty cool. This Heat team might make some noise. Magic, not so much. Wolves, not so much. Yeah, it doesn't look like there might not have been very good people left at the end of free agency even to be signed. Bill Wennington was one of those guys near the top, so we're talking 76-ish overall. So no real game changers, I don't think, like has happened in past seasons where pretty decent people got signed at the very beginning of the season. Yep, not looking like much here. Alright, well, the last thing I will do for the night is what I just did before we advanced. what can Derek Harper get me? So he can bring Dale Ellis back to the team. That was the decision I made. How many? 3 seasons ago. It was trading Ellis or Harper, and I ended up trading Ellis. To get the pick, I just used eventually for Sean Kemp, I believe, because it was 2 Jazz picks that I traded for. Bernard King, 86 overall. Kevin Willis, BJ in a first. Kelly, Doherty, Humphreys. So nothing blowing me away, but that's partly because Harper went down 1 and is now 28, has a 3-year deal, so he's not the most attractive guy to be had. But Reggie Miller needs to play. And I don't know that Derek Harper should be a bench player yet. I guess he's been starting only for the past 2 seasons. He was a bench player first 2 years for me, but that was when I had Marquise Johnson playing shooting guard, who was like 87 overall. So we'll see. I might play around offline and make some changes. We'll take a look at the rotation and see if I want to do anything. But pretty happy with the pickup. So got Stockton back long term. Ewing, for whatever reason, the stupid 1-year deal. I guess I need to remember to match. Don't decline. Match. And then got AC back with the same stupid situation. Drafted Kemp, got Nate back, signed Davis. He did lose. Didn't that say 16 badges? He lost 7 of his badges. That was like the whole reason I got him. And then we drafted Vlade. So, pretty happy with the team. Mostly younger guys, but it's worked out well so far. 3 championships in a row. Next time I go live, we'll be aiming for number 4. All right, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, Shoe Shack Redemption is out.